and welcome back to another Dirtbaggery book review. My name is Bruce, and tonight I will be reviewing Book 2 in the Horus Heresy, False Gods, written by Graham Mcneill.
The great crusade that has taken humanity into the stars continues. The Emperor of mankind has handed the reins of command to his favored son, the War Master, Horus. Yet, all is not well in the armies of the Imperium. Horus is still battling against the jealousy and resentment of his brother Primarchs, and when he is injured in combat on the planet Davin, he must also battle his inner demons, with all the temptations that chaos has to offer. Can the weakened Horus resist?
This book is probably my least favorite of the four I've read so far. Now, I haven't read it in months, but what I remember feeling when I read it was that many of the characters, Horus in particular, seemed much more one-dimensional than they were in Book 1. And if I recall correctly, the justification in regards to Horus given was because his mood had soured after the debacle with the Interrex in Horus Rising. But I don't know, I just remember feeling a little jarred by the shift in personalities. Loken definitely felt different, as I remember. In the first book, he spends a lot of time reflecting and thinking about his role as a weapon and as a man. And I feel like I just didn't get that from this book. Again, I only read it once, and it was months ago, so my memory is a little fuzzy on examples. I'm just conveying my memory of how I felt when I was reading it. The dialogue as well, I remember not enjoying it as much as other titles in the series thus far. I remember thinking that it just felt more like a novel that was created simply to fill a slot or release date, and not really something that was given a lot of creative thought. Some things I felt like they were happening to justify a reaction rather than genuine reactions to a reasonable event, or as reasonable as something can be in Warhammer. For instance, the Astartes running a group of Imperials over and killing them just to show how worried they were about Horus when he was wounded. I get what Mcneill was going for here, but it felt weird in my opinion. Despite my feeling that the event itself was a bit contrived, I did enjoy Carcasse's reaction to it and what that event ended up leading him to do and how it affected the evolution of the Lectitio Divinitatis. I don't know if I said that right. I also felt like Horus's fever dream sequence was kind of a lame explanation for his fall, or at least for how far and how quickly he fell. Like, he didn't even talk to all his brothers about it before he just decided to murder some of them. And I get that you can hand wave it and say, oh, that's just how the warp works, but that is lazy, and quite frankly, it just didn't feel right to me. I'm not trying to put down the writer or fans of this book. This is just how I felt during and after I read it. But it's not all bad. There is plenty of good Space Marine killing demons and Titan crew action. The entire scene where the Luna Wolves essentially get buried in The Walking Dead is just so warhammery and awesome, and is by far my favorite part of the entire book. Euphrates Keeler's story arc is rather cool and leads to the discovery of the power that Faith and the Emperor can wield, like real cleric level numinous faith. The tension that begins to take root between the Mournival is also pretty well paced in my opinion. I think he did a good job of at least showing the cracks starting to take root and pacing that well, even if I wasn't a huge fan of the dialogue and characterization. And despite the parts I don't like about this book, it does its job of setting up the next novel and building the lore. So read this book if for no other reason than wanting to learn the lore a little bit better and understand how Horus became such a colossal D-bag. That's all I got for this video. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment down below and let me know if you think I am way off base with this one, or just let me know what you think of it. As always, thanks for watching and keep reading.